What's up, people? It's another edition of the New Breed Podcast, the world's best new metal adjacent podcast from two dudes who are really there. I'm one half of your hosting duo, Jay Horskow. With me, I have my partner in crime, the notorious TIM, Tim Anderson Jr. Tim, how is it going?
Feeling great.
Yeah, I feel pretty good too, myself. Well, we're getting to the bottom of the beer fridge, though. We're definitely going to do a re up this weekend. So, what
Don't
are we
get me
talking about?
wrong, though. I'm old and my back hurts.
I,
That's why
I
you're
sound
gonna
like
see me go like this all the
I
time
sound
because
like
it
Rice
hurts.
Krispies when I get out of bed. It's all just crack, pop, crack, pop, crack, pop. It's kids, don't get old. Don't get old. When you hit 35, it's all downhill. All right, so what are we talking about this week? Well, this week we have a special list we're going to talk through. Believe it or not, there are a crap ton of releases that are hitting their 25th anniversary. So these are all albums that came out in the year 2000. Holy shit, Tim, does that make you feel old or what?
Yeah. Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Yes, we are definitely too old here. So Tim and I are going to
There's
walk through.
there's kids that listen to this show that were just born in 2000.
There were kids that listen to the show that weren't even born until like 2008.
Yeah, that's true.
It's terrifying. Shout out to Ryan. No, he's 21. He's 21. Sorry. 2004. So he was actually born when Poison the Well was kicking off. So Tim and I are going to walk through this list of stuff that came out in 2000. Some of it's kind of amazing to think about. This stuff has been around for 25 years. When you start listening to how influential some of these bands are, so we're going to talk a loose list of about 20 or so albums, and we're going to talk about our memories and do we remember when they came out? Do we see them live? What were our original thoughts? And just a little bit of a walk down memory lane. So hope you enjoy it. All right. In no particular order, Tim. No particular order. So I'm going to bounce all over the place. The first album on my list coming out in the year 2000, the debut album from Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory.
Mm.
Now, I know we've done a deep dive on, we did the Linkin Park draft with Adam. We've done a deep dive on a lot of this stuff. When this came out, what was your first thoughts? Do you remember what your first thoughts were?
Oh hell yeah. Because new metal was kicking back then. I remember how great it was, but I didn't really appreciate how great it was till like 10 years later. Like you listen to it and you're like, damn, this record really was just landmark back then, man. I mean,
Same. This,
even,
yeah.
we talk about it now and it's like one of the best produced records ever. It's
Mm-hmm.
one of the best written records ever, in my opinion. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really, appreciate it until later, though, because 2000, I was, hardcore, metalcore.
Yep.
It's,
Yep.
death metal. But, once you get back into, because, everybody goes through that phase where they just go back and listen to what they were listening to when they were a kid.
Your
That's
music
one of them.
tastes are formed between age 15 and age 19. I'm convinced of this.
Absolutely.
I remember this coming out, and One Step Closer was all over MTV. This is back when MTV was still doing actual videos, and I think it was One Step Closer, right? That was the name of the song.
Yeah.
And then it was Crawling, and I remember picking this album up because this is back when you used to go to Best Buy on a Tuesday and just buy whatever was the new release. And I remember thinking the better songs were the songs that weren't videos. I remember that. I remember thinking this is a slick album. It sounds slick. It's well produced. It's just smooth. And it's one of those, you put it in, it starts at track one, it goes to track 10, and then you go right back to the beginning, and it's like nothing ever happened. I remember seeing them. I think it was somebody's going to yell at us because our fans love to nitpick the years. I think it was Ozfest 2001. I think they were
Oh,
on.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You see all them comments?
Oh my god!
Actually,
Yeah,
Hatebreed is 1999. All right,
it's the
fine.
actually guys. Please give us a break. We're old here. But I remember seeing them at Ozfest. They were on the main stage and going, uh, this is a solid band. Like they sound good live. They put on a good show. Chester hits all the notes. All right, all right, I'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, good album. Man, to think they're still putting out stuff. I don't like the stuff with the new singer. I'm just gonna be honest. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. It's the fact that you can't replace Chester. I
Yes.
actually would argue that maybe Meteora was just as good, if not better. And I still love the Jay-Z collab album and the remix album. I think they're both great.
Nah, I'm good.
All right, all right, all right. What do we have next? Next, we have chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water, Limp Biscuit. So
I'm
I'm gonna
I'm
be
gonna
honest.
I'm gonna go first here
Go on.
because mine's gonna be shorter. I will admit when that came out, I was not even on their radar of even caring at that point.
Yes. Yes, same.
because it was the same thing with, metalcore, and I was going to all the metalcore show, hardcore shows. I just didn't really care, but I got into that one later as well.
Same. When I was like, oh, Limp Bizkit again, and what is this stupid name? And then Roland comes out and all those other videos, and not for nothing, some good songs in that album. But
Absolutely.
at that point, it was 2000. This is me post college. My tastes are changing. I've discovered Slipknot. I have discovered God Forbid. I have discovered Glassjaw. I've discovered Lamb of God, and I'm just like, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
In hindsight, though, it is a tremendous album. And Tim and I have had an episode in the works for years about this album. We'll come back to it. Next one. Curious to hear what your thoughts are on this one, Tim, celebrating 25 years. Disturbed and the Sickness. That
Eh,
yawn says it all.
yeah, I tell you the truth, I've never really gave that band a shot. The whole I can deal without it.
Mm-hmm.
The songs I have heard from that band, like radio wise, and just people playing them. Not gonna lie, they got some riffs. Let's be honest here, they got riffs,
Yes.
but it's like cheesy fucking dadcore music.
Well, I agree. But let me ask you this. If given the choice between having this cheesy dadcore music on the radio or some of the terrible pop shit we hear these days, what would you rather have?
Pop,
Really?
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I would rather have Disturbed and Godsmack and Chevelle and all those bands that were on the
you mean
radio.
all them bands? Yeah,
Yeah, like
okay.
would you rather have that sound or the pop sound? Give me something with a freaking guitar any day of the week.
Yeah, if you're mentioning all them, then yeah, I would take that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're that band's like the MMR barbecue band. Like you already, Disturbed's gonna be there.
Yes, yes. I mean, cheers to them for grinding out a career. He seems like a nice enough guy in some of the interviews I listen to. He seems very sincere. Not, I mean, cheesy, dropping plates, right? It's kind of cheesy.
Yeah, take
But
that thing
again,
out of your chin, buddy.
yeah, credit where credit is due. They were able to grind out a fucking career. God
How do you
bless them.
sleep with that fucking thing in your chin? Get that thing out of there.
I don't know. You'd have to take it out at night, wouldn't you?
That thing's
You have to put
corny.
like a libret spacer in. So I don't know. Should get him on and ask him.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Next,
we'll get him on and ask him. Yeah,
he'll
what'd you
never come
do
on the
all them
show.
years with that
Yo, do you
stupid
take
ass
that thing
thing?
out at night and we'll do a whole hour about chin piercings. All right. So another one, I have an interesting story about this album. Papa Roach Infest.
Eh.
I am not a fan of this band.
They have some good songs.
Never.
They're another dadcore band.
Yeah, WMMRBQ.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this video nonstop on MTV. And then I remember being at a shore house in Ocean City, New Jersey, with it was a whole bunch of couples. We rented a house for a weekend. So there was like six of us there, all guys and girlfriends. And my one buddy went to the mall shopping. And I was just sitting at the shore house because I was so happy to just, be off of work. And he came back with the CD. He's like, yo, this band's awesome. And I'm like, okay. Coming in fast. No, not my thing. Not my
Yeah.
thing. Again, another band that miraculously, against all odds, carves out a hell of a career for themselves. Still touring, so whatever. Shout out to them. But
Here, I'm gonna give you the perfect explanation of Disturbed and Papa Roach. They're bands for dudes who have tribal tattoos and think that they listen to heavy metal, and that's Papa Roach. And they're the type of dudes, dude, go in the fucking Papa
yes.
Roach night, and they're
And
like putting up the horns.
the modern version of that is Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're putting up the
Yes.
horns, and they're like fucking in the parking lot, sticking their tongue
Right.
out
Cutting
and
the
shit.
sleeves off, push pitting. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wearing
Yes.
fucking cargo shorts.
Dude, all I own is cargo shorts. All I own
Yeah,
is
but
camo cargo shorts. But yeah, I get you. I get you.
cargo shorts with a tight shirt that's cut off, and it has like it's like an old fucking Billabong shirt.
Or Salt Life or No Fear or oh my God, we're going
Exactly.
back. All right, so
Drinking
moving
fucking Natty Light cans or Miller Light
Jesus,
cans.
Beast Ice. All right. Coming out of Papa Roach and their questionable fans. Celebrating 25 years, the Deftones, White Pony. When this came out, Tim, what did you think? Because Around the Fur was a monster. Adrenaline was great. What did you think when this came out?
fucking blew my mind.
And
Best
remember,
best
so
record
the
ever.
the lead in was Changing the House of Flies. That was the lead single. That
Yeah,
video
yeah.
was all over MTV.
Blew
When
my
this
young
came,
mind.
okay, okay. I remember listening to it and going, well, this is definitely not new metal. This is definitely different. But I just remember being floored by it.
Yeah. I mean, got the tattoo in my hand. Best record ever.
Yeah. It is a hell of a, and then I remember having the limited edition one. Didn't it come out? It came out in red, white, and black.
Yep.
And the black was the limited slipcase, whatever. And I remember I watched my retarded father trying to shut my glove compartment in my car, and the CD slipped out. And he gets pissed, like, this won't shut. And he starts slamming my glove compartment in my 2000 Dodge Neon. And I watched him shatter the CD. And I just went,
I would have
Dad,
been like, get the fuck out.
Dad,
Get out.
what the fuck, Dad? What the fuck?
I would have
Yes,
took his
but
ass to FYE and made him buy me a
buy
new
me a new
one.
one. Or I could have just taken it back to the wall and said, I don't know what happened. It doesn't play anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
So Deftones, White Pony, I remember they toured with Glassjaw. That was the first tour of the sound. Was them, Glassjaw, and somebody else with the Electric Factor, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I missed it because I was home visiting my dad, who was busy smashing the CD in the fucking glove compartment.
I would have smashed his fucking head.
Next, oh, my dad is terrifying. Next album, 25 years old, debut album again, Mudvayne, LD50. I had no idea who these dudes were until I saw Tattoo the Earth, and they come out and they got the face paint and shit. I'm like, what's going on here? Is this like a Slipknot ripoff or something? And then I remember the music being so different because of the bass. I remember Ryan Martin going, man, this is like there's some funk jazz to this stuff. And then I bought the CD, and I mean, I think they're doing an anniversary tour of this album. That with who? Adema, I think it is.
They played it full?
Yeah, I think they're playing it in full.
That's
And
badass.
it's not coming to Philly. I think it's going to Dingbats up in
Oh
September. So maybe
God.
you and I got to take a trip up to Clifton, because
Dingbats.
I think I would like to see this album live, because I still watch that LD live in Peoria DVD that they did. Remember we tried to do a reaction video of that, and then
Oh
YouTube
yeah, yeah.
blocked
That
it.
that
I,
got fucking locked. Literally,
so
it
quick.
processed in 3 seconds. It was like done.
Yes, copyright. But I think the sound's great. I don't like anything they've done after it, but I really like the sound.
Yeah, there's a lot of great songs on that record. I mean, you know how I feel about the second record, but like, yeah, there's great songs on that record.
Mm-hmm.
Death Blooms is so fucking good.
Nothing to gain. Yes,
Ah,
yes.
fuck yeah.
Okay, another album hitting 25 years. Kitty, Spit.
Love it.
I remember picking it up and going, this isn't bad. Not bad.
Listen, super generic, super fun. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Every now and then you gotta like a really generic record. It's a generic
I mean,
record. They were
it
kids.
it doesn't have it, just because it's generic doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not pushing any envelopes.
Yeah.
And I
I
remember
listen to that all the time.
I remember that I saw them with Glassjaw during the Dongcopter incident. That's
Oh
who was the
yeah, yeah,
headliner.
yeah. Yep.
I mean, still holds up fairly well. Like this is distilled new metal.
Yeah. It's a perfect record to get people into new metal if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of them records where you could be like, here you go, listen to this, and then, you know,
Yes, because it's very middle of the road.
yeah, it's
Very.
not too harsh, it's not
Mm-mm.
too off the, the beaten path. It's just it's generic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I can really say. But I do enjoy that record actually.
Uh, Next one, celebrating 25 years, Taproot, Gift. I
That's
went back and listened to
incredible
this
record.
album, and I forgot how good it is. Now,
Incredible
granted,
record.
a lot of the guitar gets redundant in the sense of it's the same riff structure, it's the same almost song structure for a giant chunk of the album, but
Absolutely.
I really like not just how it's recorded, but his sing scream vocals are not overdone in either direction. Like I guess the point I'm trying to make is the contrast, right? When he uses each different type of vocal delivery, it works well.
It's very raw.
Yes, yes. And I think I went back and listened to this, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. I was doing raw dog food, and I was like, man, I forgot how fucking fun this album is. It's
Yeah,
a good time.
That's a good way to explain it. It's super fun. It's very well written. I know it is repetitive with the guitar stuff, but like I think back then you had to do that. You know what I mean? Like there
Plus,
wasn't many
yeah,
bands that like were doing it differently. It was just like even like the Soulfly records are the same. They're all that like Korn
uh,
actually like did like a lot of different stuff like rhythm section wise, but like Taproot, I mean, yeah, that's why the record's so good because you know what you're getting and you know what's they just knew had the formula back then.
yeah, yeah.
So that doesn't
Uh,
bother me at all, to tell you the truth. I think it's great.
no, I know I really go back and enjoy this album. The fact I only noticed that it's repetitive now. Back then, I was like, man, this is. I thought the album closer is great. I judge
Yep.
now by its, opener and closer are big indicators. But I thought this was fantastic. They were great at Ozfest. I think it was 2000. Yeah, it was 2000. It was 2000 or 2001. Who fucking knows?
Well, the
The fans have
Ozfest
been waiting.
police will come and
Yeah, the
get us.
Ozfest, the Oz police will come and get us. But yeah, they were great. They were great at Ozfest.
A lot
Next,
of fucking bangers on that record, man.
yes, yes. Next, we have Godsmack with Awake, which I'm sorry. I mean, I am not a Godsmack fan, but if it comes on, I'm not turning it off. Like
Yeah,
I don't
they're
mind it.
speaking of WMM barbecue, that's where I've seen them the first time I see them. They were actually decent. I was very drunk, but like, and it was raining, and it was you know when it's raining out in the summer and it's so fucking hot and humid,
Oh, and
like
it's gross.
it
Yes,
rains and you could see the humidity like just
yes,
floating through the air. I remember
yes.
that shit, and I drank like 17 Jaeger bombs, and I was fucking smashed. But they were good live, man.
And it was here. Let's Ozfest lineups by year.
Yeah,
It
because
was.
don't have the
Let me bring
Ozfest
this up
police
so
get us.
some jabroni is not going to come and yell at
I
us.
can't
It
believe that
was.
you left Pantera because it was too loud.
I did.
Yeah,
Idiots.
when I read that, I'm like, what is this dude talking
Was
about?
he retarded? I didn't leave. I went and sat outside because I could hear them fucking perfectly. And at that point, I wasn't even wearing earrings. I didn't leave, you jackhole. It was Ozfest 2001 was Godsmack? No.
Is it main stage?
Yeah, no, they weren't. I saw them at one point. What year did I see them? They were at 2000. Did I
These
go
fucking
here?
guys have no clue what they're talking about.
I don't remember. I don't remember if I went in 2000. I don't remember if I went in 99. Um,
I love when people like put comments up that are trying to like what's that word? Like lambast?
land
Is that
based us. Yeah, and like you're trying to seem like we're smarter than you. It's like, dude, come
eh,
on, we're 40 something years old. Like,
it's like, do you really think that's hurting my feelings? I actually love that shit.
yeah, go ahead, talk some shit. I again, they're one of these bands where I don't think they're bad. I like them more than I like Disturbed. It's more of a dirty rock and roll, is that how I would describe Godsmack?
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't hate it. Like
What's
I mean, I'd
what's he
rather
always
listen to
say?
Godsmack than Creed.
Yeah, what's he always say? Oh, what's the word people always associate that band with?
Go away. I don't
Yeah,
know.
go
Uh,
away. Yeah, it's always
yeah,
away.
yeah.
Yeah,
Somehow,
but I agree. I don't mind that band at all. I think they got some good songs. They're to me, I think like Stained in that if you talk about
yes,
bands like that, I think Stained is the best one. Stained,
yes.
like them first three Stained records are great.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
love them.
After Godsmack, here's another one. 25 years. Cold, 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage. I love this album.
Great record.
I thought the original Cold album, the self-titled, was just so moody and so just his voice is, that bass, that baritone that he's got. But I thought this one it showcased a little bit more songwriting. And even Year of the Spider, they keep getting better where they
Yeah.
wrote hooks on that album. But
Another
I think
record I didn't get into till later.
this album I really still enjoy, and I go back and listen to this quite frequently.
Absolutely, me as well.
How about this one, Tim? I don't remember being moved either way. Finger 11, The Grayest of Blue Skies. They were one of those like grunge type new metal bands, right? Like in the same vein as Endo and that sort of stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
My buddy Steve's a huge fan of that band still. He used to have a that was back then when people had like systems in their car. but he had it dialed into where like it wasn't like for like rap, like he doesn't listen to that shit, but like it was dialed in for like heavy stuff, and that shit sounded amazing, dude. Yeah, I don't know how he did it, but he had it dialed in his car. It sounded great. But he loves bands like that, Endo, Finger Eleven, Taproot. He listens to all that kind of new metal stuff. So
Holy
still does.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I could message him right now, and he'd be like, "Oh fuck yeah."
not in my vein. I don't remember being a big fan back then, but remember back then, Tim, this is when the labels were flooding everything.
Yeah.
So new release day was just almost you really had to pick your battles because you only had so much money. You only had so much money. After Figure 11, I think we deep dove this Back to the Primitive by
Yeah,
Soulfly.
garbage,
A couple of good songs. That's it.
garbage,
Couple of good songs. Just a couple. Just a
straight
couple.
trash.
I mean, it's like Max, come on, grab Igor, grab Andreas,
Yeah,
find a fucking
enough.
coat hanger to hang the bass off of, and just do the fucking Chaos AD reunion tour, please.
Yeah, back to the primitive.
God, it's terrible. All right.
Fuck all the bullshit. Is that
All
what he
right.
says?
Yes, yes.
Like, come on, dude. Like, this is like child's lyrics, man. Like, I hate when fucking dudes like it's like, yo, did you just figure out you could curse? Like,
Yeah, right.
enough.
Varials. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
next, Primer 55, Introduction to Mayhem.
Oh, my buddy Nate, that passed, dude, loved them. Fucking loved that record. There I go with the F word.
Mm,
I just figured I could curse, but dude, loved it. I think Steve loved that band too.
I
Maybe not though, because it's got the hip hop influences.
I remember hearing them and going, okay. Uh, it was a thing. I had the CD. It was nothing earth shattering or mind
Yeah.
blowing, but they put on a good enough live show.
Yeah, not yeah. You nailed it perfectly. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything different. It was like rapcore for new metal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Literally, it was rapcore for new metal, and I mean, there are people who celebrate this band like they were so amazing and mind blowing, and I listen to them like, oh
Yeah, I
no,
don't get that either.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Another band with a 25-year anniversary album, Broke by Head PE.
Yeah, not a fan.
Sneaky good album. Sneaky good. There are some great songs on this album. Is it Bartender is on this?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Yes, I think. No, I'm not thinking of Blackout. I'm thinking of Broke. Yes, Bartender is on this. So Killing Time it opens with Feel Good with Surge and Morgan Lander. Bartender is a great song. I'm sorry. If I thought I could get away with it, I would do that at work karaoke when we have work happy hour. If I thought I'd get away with it.
Do it
I'm
anyway.
sorry, it's a great song. Absolutely
Fucking
great
do
song.
it. Fuck it. You're
That
drunk.
shit
You
is
just wake up next day. I was drunk. Fuck it.
yeah, I remember usually my go-to is Frank Sinatra. Next, Spine Shank, The Height of Callousness.
Great record.
This was them getting more mature. This was moving from a Fear Factory clone to more, which by the way, I should probably listen to Strictly Diesel tomorrow. This is them moving away from that Fear Factory quasi ripoff band to more of a, hey, we've got our own sound. It's more of a modern rock sound with some new metal and electronic elements. There's the first 3-4 tracks of this album are solid, 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 solid.
Yeah, New Disease is a fucking amazing
Yes,
track.
yes. So
Love
now we
that
got
record.
now we
That
got
was
a
one of
band.
them records where I did listen to it when it came out, and I still listen to it. I love that shit.
So now we got a band, Tim. Curious to hear your thoughts on this one. The Union Underground. Were you a
Never,
fan at all?
nah, never got into it.
So they played again Ozfest that same year. I don't care what year. And I just remember going, I didn't
Yeah,
even watch it. It was them. It was Drowning Pool. It was somebody else where I was just like, yeah, I really don't.
Drowning Pool, another dad core band.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Let
not
the
interested.
bodies hit the floor. They're
It's
all going
terrible.
like this.
WWE,
Yeah.
WWE. Yeah, not a fan of this band. We can skip them. Next, Nothing Face Violence,
Oh yeah, classic.
which is an album I did not appreciate until we started doing this podcast.
Steve, my buddy Steve's probably his favorite band almost, I think.
Not I liked an audio guide to Everyday Atrocity.
Love it.
I remember seeing them. I think it was Tattoo the Earth. I saw them outside. And I mean, at this point, my interest in new metal was dropping off because I discovered Poison the Well. But When we went back and listened to this album, I go back and listen to it all the time. This, Dark Horse by Crazy Town,
Fuck yeah.
American Head Charge, The War of Art, Down the Sun. There's a couple of albums that because of this show, I go back to fairly frequently.
Yes. Same.
Next,
I
Tim.
love that. I love that Down the Sun record.
It's great. It's great.
Wait,
Next.
speaking of that, we got to get Kook back on.
Yeah, we do. He's been kind of quiet lately. Let me ping him. See if we can come back on. We'll talk.
See what he's up to.
I don't know. We'll talk about the Royals or something. Next, Tim. Have you ever seen this band, Slaves on Dope? Inches from the main line.
Ozfest, maybe.
I saw them open for Fear Factory, and they weren't bad, but it wasn't enough to make me pay attention.
Another third-rate new metal band.
I think they were the opener. They were the opener for, I think it was Fear Factory touring off Digimortal. I think. Wait a
Wouldn't
minute.
surprise me.
No, it was Snowcore 2001. It was
Oh,
Fear Factory, Kitty, Union Underground, Slaves on Dope, Boy Hits Car.
it's a 36 Crazy Fist.
That was, I think, years after. And then the year before was System of a Down, Incubus, Mr. Bungle, and Puya. That was an awesome show. That was an awesome, awesome show. Love Puya. Love Puya. No, Rob, I'm not going to throw the flames on my car. Next, Orgy, Vapor Transmission.
Amazing record.
Never.
Amazing with a
I
capital
mean, in
fucking A.
hindsight, now I go back and I can vibe with the 80s like synthwave throwback stuff. But back then I was just like, okay. And also at this point, I'm tired of new metal, right? 4 or 5 years of listening to nothing but new metal. It's like I discovered Dead to Fall and my world changed.
Vapor is almost as good as Candy Ass. It's almost as good. There's some really really good tracks on that record, man.
Cheers, salute to you. I was out at that point. Next,
have you heard it though?
I think Pieces. I've never listened to it in its entirety.
I think you'd be surprised.
I'll check. We'll do an episode and we'll check it out.
Yeah.
Next,
I'm actually, not to cut you off, I'm actually surprised we have not done a Candy Ass episode.
Yeah, you know what? Make a note of that. We'll do that one.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that a couple weeks or something.
And we got to find. Well, we got to find somebody to come on for that. Maybe we can reach out to Jay Gordon so we can ghost us again. Next, a guy who didn't ghost us, Elias, Non-Point with Statement.
Great record.
Yes, great record, great live band. What a day is a hell of a song. It is a great, great song. I mean, you want to talk about a band that played heavy but had a hook. They had a hook.
One of the coolest dudes we've had on.
Yes, he was a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah, we should hit him up again too, see what he's up to.
Yeah, they're still putting out albums. Next, we have Britain, 1 Minute Silence, Buy Now, Save Later.
Oh, I remember buying this record in fucking The Wall. And I did not really like it at the time.
I remember reading about this band all the time in Metal Hammer, and then I was just like, kind of doesn't do much for me.
Yeah, it didn't really do it for me either. I still had the CD like 2 years ago. I remember I sold all of my CDs on Craigslist one day or Facebook Marketplace one day, and I shipped them to like Massachusetts.
I remember you telling me you had to ship your box to some guy.
Yeah, I shipped it through like UPS. USPS does this thing where it's like media shipping.
Yeah.
And I shipped it. It took 2 fucking weeks. And the dude would message me every day. Hey, man, I paid you. Where are these? I'm like, dude, you have the tracking number. Fuck off.
Right.
And then he got them, and he was like, cool, man, thanks. Yeah, all right, buddy. Like, you're the one that picked the media shipping and knew how long it was going to take, and then you're questioning me? Are you serious? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
All right, so what do we have now? Now we've got Apartment 26 with Hallucinating.
Love it.
I don't remember what this band sounds like, Tim, not gonna lie.
Well, you're missing out because that's an amazing record.
So these 3 albums, I get completely confused. Apartment 26.
Okay.
The next one on this list, Project 86. What did that sound like?
Is what you think it does.
I have no idea.
Oh, you've never heard. Oh, that's
So
right.
I get Apartment 26, Project 86, and Factory 81 all mixed up.
Well, Factory 81 was
They were more of an industrial new metal band. I remember they opened for somebody that I saw. I'd have to go to in the Bible.
Apartment 26, same thing, industrial new metalish.
Okay, what about Project 86?
Same, pretty much the same. Back then they were a little heavier than what they are now, but they were big back then. I remember a lot of people were into that band. He was another cool dude we had on. The dude from Project 86.
Yes, yes. No, was it? No, that wasn't Project 86, was it?
Wasn't it?
No, Lyle was from Oh man, we're terrible.
Yeah, we are
I'm
terrible.
not going back and looking at Ozfest. Jamie, pull it up. So the next band. So we've done Apartment 26, Project 86, Factory 81. Pitch Shifter with Deviant. What did you think of this?
I actually like that record.
I see. I At this point, I wanted Infotainment too, and this
Yeah.
was a little bit more rock than they were really leaving their industrial stuff aside. Which, by the way, we haven't did a deep dive on that album either,
No, we haven't.
and that's another great new metal banger. I wasn't impressed with this, and I never, honestly, sadly, never got to see them live. I missed the Ozfest that they played, and I had tickets to see them with the Deftones and Quicksand, touring off of Around the Fur up at the Roseland, and my clutch went on my car at exit 7 on the New Jersey Turnpike. Never
Ooh,
made it. Never made it up
that
there.
had to be brutal.
I made it to a rest stop. I made it to the rest stop between 7 and 7A. I called a buddy who had AAA. He got it towed off. And then we were playing NFL Blitz for like 2 hours inside the rest stop because we had nothing else to do. Then we went back to campus and just got fucking hammered.
What
Good
else was there to
times.
do back then? Get
Nothing.
hammered.
Nothing.
Exactly.
And I was like, dude, I'm sorry we missed the show. Like it was, shout out to Guzzy and Smurf. All right, next we have a band who I think they carved a name for themselves for the limited time they were around, the Deadlights. Do you remember them?
Oh, fuck yeah.
They bassist as lead singer who actually rest in peace. I think he passed not too long ago. I remember seeing them open for I think it was Slipknot. It was
Yes.
Slipknot with Biohazard and the Deadlights.
You're 100% correct.
Not bad, not bad. And I think they also played. They might have played Tattoo the Earth. I don't remember.
They were big, not big, but they were like getting some recognition for a couple of years, and then they just like dead died off.
Yeah,
The
they they
deadlights died.
they were they were New Metal Reddit carries the torch for this band. They're one of the bands that they really carry the
It
torch
doesn't
for.
surprise me at all.
No, no, not even remotely.
Bunch of like
Uh
15-year-olds.
Shout out to those guys. They shout out to our younger fans. May you hit puberty and prosper. A couple more bands here, Tim. Deadsy with Commencement. Do you remember this band?
I do, yeah.
I could not tell you what they sound like if you put a gun in my head.
To tell you the truth, I couldn't even tell you what they sound like at this point, but I do remember that band.
I remember seeing the press releases and I can tell you what they look like, but don't ask me what they sound like.
I'm still laughing at the puberty thing. That's hilarious.
No offense, guys. And gals. Next, we have Snot with Straight Up.
Oh, come on.
So there were some, I mean, what's the one with Lejean, Angel's Son? Like that song is just unbelievable. There's some really good tracks on this, and then there's some kind of duds, but I get what they were trying to do. This was a lot of the music written for the next album, and it contains the best Snot song they ever wrote, which is Absent.
Yeah, you do think that's their best one.
And 100%, 100%, it's the best song they ever did. Okay, two more, Tim, two more. Relative Ash,
Yep.
Our
I
Time with
remember
You.
them. Another they're
Same
another
same vein as Slaves on Dope.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I remember seeing them at Tattoo the Earth. And last but not least, the sophomore release from the band Ultra Spank, Progress.
Oh yeah.
I remember this album. I was not blown away by it. And I listened to it and I was like, this isn't bad. My tastes are changing, but this isn't bad. But this unceremoniously, they got dropped by the label like a bad habit because this is when the tide went out and nobody was into new metal anymore. And do with it what you will. But yeah, I think that kind of fell apart for them. And then they ended up, well, Neil and what's his name ended up doing Low Pro. And then they went on, the Temple of the White Owl, I think was the other band. And now Life on Planet Nine.
which is really good.
Dude, every time I think of that episode that you and I were listening to those songs, I was so bombed by the end of that one. I love every time they release a single. I'm like, holy shit. Neil and Pete.
Yeah,
Neil
good
Godfrey
stuff, man.
and
We've tried getting a hold of them like a million times, haven't we?
they are tough to find. Every time they release a new single, I ping them through Instagram. Every time.
Never
All right.
works.
So there's a couple other albums on this list, but nothing you and I would really remember being
Let's
to
hear
5 foot thick,
Nope.
Pillar,
Nope.
Slapshock,
Nope.
And Chico Sai. Who
Nope.
I know that only through Chico Science from Max and some of the shit he yells on stage. And there's the other band that they have on here, which I'm not going to talk about because it's not new metal, but it is 25 years old. Skull and Bones by Cypress Hill.
Oh yeah, but that's
How
cool.
it made it onto this on this list is
It's
beyond me.
probably never
So,
mind. I won't say
I
that. Never
mean,
mind.
Tim, if we were to go through how many out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of these 37 albums, without even counting, I think probably a good 23, 24 of them are bangers,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is wild. Like but then again, this is the apex of new metal. It's all downhill from here. I
I
wonder
mean,
when
I
Reveille
always
came out.
say Reveille.
Yeah, was it the same time?
What was that record called? Bleed the Sky.
Bleed the Sky, where they're poking the eyes and poking fingers in
Yeah.
the eyes.
While you're
Where
looking that
is
up,
it?
I always say the best 10 years of music are 90 to 2000. Well, would that
Uh,
be would
yes.
that be
Uh,
11?
11 technically. Laced was 99.
Laced. That's it.
And then Bleed the Sky was the next one. And the album came out in June of 99. Yes.
Yeah, that's the best era of music in my opinion for every genre, whether it be hip hop,
Yeah.
metal,
Yeah.
um, alternative, all that shit. I mean, how many good records alternative wise came out in the 90s? Dude, we could do an episode right now of how many great records of alternative music came out. And I mean alternative, not alt metal, alt rock,
Yes.
live, like
So
throwing copper or shit
do
like
you
that.
follow 120 Minutes Revisited on Instagram?
No.
So it's all the all the stuff that would show up on 100. I think it was 120 minutes, but it's all the old really weird alternative stuff like Jesus and Mary Chain and the Cocteau Twins and all the goofy stuff they had out there. But my college roommate, I showed up listening to Korn and Ministry and Nine Inch Nails. He showed up listening to Candlebox and the Toadies and that sort of stuff. Collective Soul. Still, those bands put out some good songs.
Oh fuck yeah.
And credit where
Soul
credit is due.
Asylum.
Yep. Credit where credit is due. Those bands put out some good albums.
Oh, yeah, dude. Soul Asylum, Third Eye Blind,
Yes.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, that's now we're getting into grunge. We're going to really start reminiscing here. All right, so 25 years old, a lot of those bands. Some of those bands are still kicking. A good dozen of those are still kicking, still touring. Maybe not putting out new music, but they're still playing, which got, credit where credit is due. Give them grace. God bless them.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I didn't know any of these bands on this list until now, which I'm very happy that you didn't send them to me. But yeah, I really enjoy this list.
Yeah, it was
There's some the dad rock shit I could do without, but yeah, a lot of
yeah, and
it's good.
some of the derivative duds, but for the most part, that was, I mean, I just remember going to Best Buy every Tuesday and going, shit, what am I going to spend my money on? Because I only have X amount of money, and this new release rack was just packed. Another thing
Dude, how exciting was it to go on the end cap and see all the new releases, and you're like, oh my god,
Mhm.
that's the best.
This is
Some
back
of
when I
the
would buy, like, if it had a Roadrunner sticker, I bought it.
Yeah. You know what's sad, man? A lot of these kids these days will never ever experience that.
Yeah, there's something to be said about browsing the store and having to make that hard choice of I've got $10.
Yep.
I got $10. I can afford one CD, and I see five of them here. Which one am I going to buy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that was definitely a Sophie's choice. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. Hard to believe that most of these albums are 25 years old. Is there an album that we forgot? If there is, please hop in the comments and I'm sure you will tell us. New Breed _ podcast, Twitter and Instagram, newbreedpodcast at gmail.com. 267-297-4627 for all your audio complaints. Find us on r/new metal and find us on our Facebook page. New episodes every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. New reaction videos every Friday at 12 p.m. Start your afternoon lunch with us. Until next week, it's Shane Tim saying cheers.